6 things you didn't know about Operation Gold or the Berlin Tunnel. So number 1 is when they were constructing the tunnel, there was an issue finding an adequate baseline. So engineers decided they needed an object of known size in East Berlin in order to reference that. So they decided to play a game of baseball. The only issue with this is every time they'd hit the baseball over, there was friendly East German guards who would continually return their baseball to them. So it kind of foiled their engineers' plans. Number 2 is that on January 20th, 1954, George Blake gave Operation Gold details to his Russian contact. This was 2 days before Allen Dulles formally approved the operation. So that's kind of fun. Number 3 is when George Blake first joined the British MI6, they sent him to Downing College in Cambridge for an intensive Russian language course. This ended up backfiring on them because he really enjoyed learning about Russian language and literature and Russian life. And so this kind of influenced him to then work with the KGB. Number 4, this is George Blake's cousin, Henry. And he was actually one of the founding members of the Egyptian Communist Party. For whatever reason, this was not considered when Blake joined the British MI6. Number 5 is when the tunnel was first discovered, the commandant who was normally in charge was absent, and so they had a stand-in who decided that the best thing they could do was invite all of Berlin press to a briefing and a tour of the tunnel. They thought this would kind of be like a propaganda victory, saying, you know, we found this tunnel. The only problem is all the press were just amazed at the audacity, but then also the technical ingenuity of this operation. And we're just so shocked that the United States and the United Kingdom were able to pull off an operation like this. So it all just kind of backfired on the Soviets. And then number 6 was at one point, the East Germans claimed that the idea of the tunnel came from Eleanor Dulles. This is Allen Dulles' sister. They did it in a way, they were trying to kind of like elicit sympathy from the public, but instead it backfired on them. Everybody just thought this was an insane operation. They didn't really care, I guess, who came up with it. Didn't necessarily think it was her, but also didn't think it mattered just because they were just so impressed by the operation as a whole. So that was 6 things you probably didn't know about the Berlin Tunnel.